I think as a high school teacher, being in the classroom, I think content's the most important thing. If you don't know your content, you're going to struggle in the classroom. But I think it's also important to teach new instructional strategies, because kids these day and age, they're a little different than when we were growing up. And so it's a digital age. It's a world that we didn't grow up in. And so I think it's important to teach new instructional strategies, teach students how to, or student teachers how to differentiate, teach students how to use a variety of instructional methods in the classroom, because it's a lot tougher to reach today's students. And so you've got to use a variety of different methods to reach those students. Well, passion, I think, is number one. If you're not passionate about what you're doing, students are going to see that. I mean, they usually pick up on that the first couple of days of school, is how passionate is this person, or are they just interested in only working 180 days a year and getting a decent paycheck. I think that's number one. I think another thing that's important is a love of kids, a love of education, a love of higher learning, wanting to better kids and to see them succeed in life and to see them grow and mature, because you have to, sometimes it's tough, but when you look out at your students, but you have to remember some of those kids are going to be your doctors one day or your lawyers one day. And so you've got to have a love of students, and you've got to have passion. I think the School of Education does a pretty good job of preparing students. I've had 3 student teachers from Southwestern, and I think every one of them has probably been more prepared than I was when I came through 11 years ago. They do a good job of teaching classroom management, which they didn't teach when I was, I was kind of learn on the fly when I was coming through, but they teach classroom management. Most of the students are skilled in, teaching in a variety of ways. They're learning about differentiation a lot younger than we did. I think Southwestern is doing a really good job of staying abreast with educational issues. They're not getting left behind per se, like some other schools are. I think that what Southwestern really does well, though, is they get students into the classroom early on. I think that the GSW School of Education is really the lifeblood of Southwestern. The majority, I don't know if it's the biggest school at Southwestern, but I know it's got to be one of. I know a lot of my former students that have came to Southwestern because they want to be teachers. I think that the School of Education has really done a good job of churning out a lot of local teachers in the area. I know multiple teachers in this particular area that have been star teachers in their school. They've been teachers of the year, and they all have Georgia Southwestern education degrees.